Let's get some work done today.
Open up, you open up. Bitch, you won't be we should be closer than friends.
Hey guys, so I'm back hopefully to brighten up the mood. I know we've all been feeling kind of crazy with everything that's going on in the world right now. I know my background is kind of slanted. Just rock with me. Can't turn the fan off because it's just too hot. So again, just rock with me. So we're gonna do something that I haven't done yet on this channel, and that is talk about my top 5 on Netflix currently. I'm gonna try to feature things that are like semi-new. It takes me a while to catch up to whatever's trending because I'm not quarantined. I'm working every day. So these are my top 5. They are in no particular order. These are literally just the top 5 things that I enjoyed watching while on Netflix. Oh, and I have a bonus for you guys, a guilty pleasure. The first one is not actually a Netflix original. However, I was first introduced to the show on Netflix. I didn't trust that it would be good on TV, but then I saw a commercial that kind of gave me Gossip Girl vibes, and so then I was like, now I gotta go back and start from the beginning. So I started from the beginning on Netflix, and that is Dynasty, the new version, the renewed version of the show Dynasty. Very good. I think what I like about it is that there's like suspense, but there's comedy, and the actors are kind of like charming. I don't know how else to say that. The storyline kind of drags a little bit, however, it's so entertaining that you can't help but like just enjoy it. Number 2 is Dead to Me. Dead to Me is one of those shows that Netflix suggested that I watch. They thought that I would enjoy it. I watched it and I loved it. I saw the first season I saw a commercial for it, and I was like, oh, that looks like it'll be good, but I forgot to like search it on Netflix, so I never saved it in my queue or anything. What ended up happening was they suggested it for me, and so I clicked on it and I watched it the first season, and I just finished the second season maybe a month ago. I might be guessing it, maybe a few weeks ago. And super good. It's just another one that's just entertainment. It's a great balance of funny and suspense, and it's just like everything that you think could happen is gonna happen, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. Great cast, great storyline, and just all around good time. The third, it was a short series, and it was the Murder to Mercy, the Cyntoia Brown story. I'm looking at my list. If you wonder why I keep looking down my list, I'm referring to her. The Cyntoia Brown story was so important to tell and to share, I think, for her and then also for everyone who watched it. It's a story of it was in the news, so spoiler alert. It's a story of a young girl who I would say now in today's law it would be considered trafficking. She was dating an older man. He pimped her out. She was having sex for drugs and sex for money and sex for living spaces. She was I think she was adopted. I don't remember if she was a foster child or if she was adopted, but her mother gave her up. She was biracial. So I think like when you have those struggles growing up, like you don't have an identity because you don't really know who your parents are, and you don't look like the black people, but you don't look like the white people, and you kind of just don't know who you are in society, and so it gives you this weight that like maybe not everyone that's around you has. And so she acted out, and it is what it is. I can't judge her for her actions. She was a child when she had those behaviors. And they actually show you throughout the series, they do testing on her, and she actually had some cognitive issues. And so some of what she was doing that was considered acting out was really symptoms of her cognitive issues. And so it was just interesting to see the story unfold and to see the justice system fail her. It was the early 2000s. It's not like this was like 35 years ago. This was less than 20 years ago. The justice system failed this young brown girl, and she spent years in prison for murder when really all she was doing was self-defense. And so that kind of, I had to wrestle with that, and it messed with me a little bit, and I had to like really take it in, take a moment, and it actually was really, really good series. I hope that she comes out with like a book or something, and maybe she has one and I just don't know about it, because I really would like to learn more about her. I find her story so interesting, and the psychologist in me is just wants to know more about how her brain works. So that was number 3. Number 4 is Insatiable. This is a show about a pageant girl who used to be plus size. She has an eating disorder. She doesn't believe she has an eating disorder, but she has an eating disorder. And it's another one of those shows where like anything crazy that you can imagine is gonna happen is probably gonna happen. Like just thinking about it, I'm not finished with season 2 yet. But I enjoyed season 1 so much. Season 2 has not disappointed thus far. And if you like comedy, but like a storyline that you can follow and kind of relate to, if you've ever struggled with like overeating or anything like that, or like body image or anything like that, it's so stupid, but it gives you an opportunity to kind of like laugh at yourself, even if you've only had like a little thought about it, whatever. It gives you an opportunity to kind of laugh at yourself, but also relate to a struggle. Very good. My 5th and final top 5 choices for Netflix is Black AF. This show is about a man named Kenya and his family. I'm assuming it's based off of like his real family. This is the man who created Blackish and Mixedish and Grownish and that whole ish saga. And I watched Blackish. I don't watch it religiously, I don't keep up with it. But if it's on and nothing else is on, I'll watch it, and I find it entertaining. It's cool. I like the first couple of episodes because it kind of gives you an idea of what they were trying to portray throughout the series. I was never interested in the spinoffs, so I never watched them. But I watched Black AF, and I'll be honest. That first episode, I was like, I'm not watching this. This is terrible. He's cursing at these kids. They cursing back at him. It's disrespectful. I do not like these jokes. This is not for me. I said, you know what? I kind of giggled at the end of the last episode, at the end of the first episode. So I said, let me just watch another one. And I said, let me just watch another one. And now I want to rewatch the entire series, the entire first season. It is so funny, but it's funny in like a way that makes you think, which I love. So it brings light and awareness to some of the things that Black people and interracial people come in contact with on a regular basis. It brings light to a different aspect of being Black, so not necessarily the struggling Black person, but the more successful, the more wealthy Black person, the one that maybe lives in the suburbs or has a couple extra dollars hanging around or has disposable income or whatever. It brings light to some of the issues that come with having black kids that did not have to struggle the way you struggled growing up and things like that. And I think that it's the more raw, uncut version of Blackish, and I really like it. I really want to watch it again because it was that good, and I can't wait for season 2. So yeah, that was my top 5. I may not say these in the right order because I have them in a different order here than I said them to you, so here we go. The first one was Dynasty, the second is Dead to Me, the third is Murder to Mercy, the Cyntoia Brown story, the fourth one is Insatiable, and the fifth one is Black AF. Now for a guilty pleasure. So my guilty pleasure for this month is The Good Witch. It's a show that comes on Hallmark, but I never watched it before, so I said, let me check it out on Netflix, watch it from the beginning, and see how I like it. Immediately, it reminded me of Seventh Heaven. The only difference was, obviously, the family was not pastors and church members. It was, you know, good people who did good for their neighborhood and their community. And it just gave you all the family, homey vibes, the small town vibes. You know, you had those characters that were kind of like mean and nasty and conniving. You had the overzealous mayor, and you have the woman who keeps everything together and just kind of brings the town together and makes it all make sense. And so I ended up getting through 5 seasons in less than 3 weeks, even with work and everything, because it's just that good. I just make time for it. And now I'm on the current season, which is season 6, episode 1. I'm about 20 minutes in to a 41-minute episode, so I'm making my way. So if you're interested in any of these shows and series, please feel free to look them up on Netflix, check them out, let me know what you think about them. These are just some of the things that I've been into. I did watch some other stuff, I just wasn't into it. One thing I watched I wasn't into was Tiger King. Wasn't into it. Didn't understand anything that was going on, and then when I finally understood, it was only because they finally revealed that they were all on crystal meth. I'm all set. Another show that I tried to get into, I watched all 3 seasons, and in the end, I felt so unfulfilled and had so many questions. Ozark. I keep trying to give it a chance. I keep waiting for it to peak, and it kind of just coasts. 3 seasons of just coasting. I think maybe I was surprised once, maybe twice. I'm not going to give away why, because I'm sure people will want to go and watch that also. It's pretty popular. So just know that it wasn't for your girl. Will I keep watching? Probably, because I like to see things through, you know? I did that with How to Get Away with Murder. I enjoyed the first episode. I enjoyed the first season of How to Get Away with Murder. Around season 3, 4, I kind of was just like, what are we even doing at this point? By the end, I was so glad that I stuck it out and that all the pieces of the puzzle just kind of came together, because it was so good. No regrets. So hopefully Ozark will have something like that for me in store. Another show that was like that was Ballers. I don't think Ballers is done. However, just given the last season, which I want to say was either 3 or 4, I struggled through season 2. I had to actually rewatch the entire season before I started season 3, because I couldn't even remember what happened, because it was just so slow and boring to me. And by the end of season 3, I was glad that I watched season 2, because it was just good. And so that's kind of how I am when it comes to TV. I have to go with the ebbs and flows so that I can get to the end and see what it's going to be. Now, if it's garbage in the end, did I waste my time? No, because then I get to tell you it was garbage. So, it is what it is. Anywho, that is my time for today, and I hope you will join me next time I give you my top 5 for June. This was May. Give you my top 5 for June at the end of June. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please do not ever forget to be kind to one another and to be kind to yourself. Thanks for watching.